evening, race fans, and welcome to Friday night. It's the Relentless Racing Series coming at you. Green flag is out.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave
good evening, race fans. Welcome to Daytona International Speedway for this season's opener for the Relentless Racing Series.
And I am your host, Chris. And with me, as always, it is Rick. Rick, how you doing tonight, bud?
Oh man, happy Friday, Chris. I am excited to be here at Daytona, my favorite track, as everybody here on the Turn 3 Racing Network knows, next to Talladega. But baby, we're back here with the Relentless Racing Series. Number 3 opener here tonight at Daytona, and I've been watching these guys fly across this track here, Chris, and I'm excited, brother.
Yeah, sometimes literally I've seen it when they were playing a little bit. That's cool, though. Hey, 4 turns right here in the 2.5-mile track. We've got a track temperature of 71 degrees, air temperature 71, wind, look out for that, it's 11 degrees. Out of the south, make it 12 or miles per hour, not degrees. That would be wrong. That's wrong, Bob.
That's wrong, Bob.
Guys, we're getting ready to go qualifying. We've got about a minute left of practice. These guys just having a ball out there so far. Cars seem to be handling pretty decently. I've seen a couple of cars that were, maybe just a little bit on edge, but I think once they're in a big pack, that'll settle right down. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in to Turn 3 Racing Network right here tonight to end your work week. I hope it was a great week for you guys. And those of us in the United States get Labor Day this weekend, Rick.
3-day weekend, man. My thoughts are with everybody down in Florida here. This weekend's going to be a little rough for them down there. The unofficial end of summer up here in the Northeast, Chris, man. We're back racing here. It's going to be a good time.
A lot of familiar names, and Rick, a lot of not so familiar names out there as well starting tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we got guys like Troy Leonard, Andrew Beach, Louis Arcado. We got Trenton Sneed, he's new. Austin Diamondshire, he's back. Eric Lida's back out there doing his thing. You got James Miller, Matt Grunberg, Thomas Wagner, Jeffrey Fisher. Man, it's been a while since we called these names. It feels like months, Chris, but it's actually only been a couple of weeks.
It really has. And let's not forget the number 11, Derek Garrison. He's flying the Turn 3 Racing Network skin on his car tonight. So thank you very much for doing that again as, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready for qualifying.
Qualifying is going to be kind of interesting, Chris, because during practice we're seeing some really good racing and some big numbers being put up there, but obviously guys out there, they're racing in a pack, so obviously those numbers are going to be a little skewed compared to what is going to be going on here with single car qualifying.
Oh, definitely. The draft, huge here in Daytona. You're probably going to knock about 10 miles per hour off from the top speed by not having a draft here in qualifying, but Rick, that's not what we're qualifying for. We're qualifying for top spot, single speed, and these guys are getting it done. Here we are with Thomas Wagner. Thomas, the owner and one of the admins here of the Relentless Racing Series. Thank you very much for having us back, Thomas. Thomas driving the 43 car. That is a car that's actually pretty near and dear to his heart. I know, we remember that car from last season. We've also got a couple of number changes, so we're going to have to get used to these too. I know James Miller, last season's champion, went ahead and changed his number, as did the fish man himself, Jeffrey Fisher. I was looking at Fisher's car, Rick, and I don't know if you recall, but he is going to school for meteorology. He's got NOAA on there. Pretty cool.
Yes, that's pretty cool to see that there, Chris. I know that Jeffrey Cox out there, he's also out there in chat there saying he can't wait to fire the engines up. Hope to give you guys a good listen. You're getting that number 88, brother. You're going to be doing fine and get the helmets. The only thing that you could have done different is make those rims white. That's how it is on the actual car. But hey, we're not going to hold that against you, brother. Good luck out there tonight.
We got a few drivers out there qualifying. After we get Thomas's first lap, we'll switch over to a few others just so we can take a look at their cars. And there are a lot of cars. If these guys start this field, this is going to be an amazing car count for these guys. Last season, towards the end, it was, let's be honest, it was getting a little bit low, and that happens towards the end of the season. Thomas Wagner across the line with a 54.99, but that lap so far not counting because he did scrub the wall. On board now, the Napa Auto Parts number 55. That's being driven by Ryan Flanagan tonight. Ryan running a very high line. That's pretty common, Rick. I know you used to always try to get him to do that. Run that high line on that first lap to build up that momentum.
Yeah, that's something that I learned from watching racing back in the day with my dad. And I remember Dale Earnhardt and a couple other drivers there at Daytona always talking about that and how you want to get on, you know, got to get that momentum started. It takes a couple of laps for these cars to really get up to speed. And that was a trick. You always ride up the wall for your first couple warm-up laps. And then when it's time to go, that's when you drop down and do your thing.
Thomas Wagner had a much better second lap. Rick, a 49.802, good enough for the pole. Only driver so far in the 49 solo. We're gonna drop down. We've got so far Scott Merckx. He's in the 75. He's running third quickest here in qualifying. He's on his second lap.
Zachary Geller, he pulled out a really fast blistering lap out of his number 5 Cabela's machine, Chris. For the 49.794, that's good enough for the pole right now.
That's a nice looking car, a little Cabela's action. Reminds me, I want to go fishing. Adrian Pedro out there. Yeah, that's cool, except for all, you know, be working. The 78 out there on track so far, good enough for 4th spot. Actually make that 5th. As Cox came in and knocked him down 1. Tony Edmondson, a 56.70, good enough for 6th spot so far. And these are first laps, guys. These are going to change a little bit. It does take about a minute, as you can see, to get around this big track by yourself. So it takes a little while. Still a lot of drivers that have not stepped toe out on the track yet. And some of those drivers may be doing it on purpose.
Well, one good thing about Daytona, Chris, it doesn't really matter where you start. I mean, obviously, it's better to start up into the front of the field where you can get that clean air. You get that track position there at the beginning of the race. But it doesn't matter because you could start last year and within a couple of laps with the draft, if you worked it right and you play your cards correctly, you could be up towards the front in no time. So it's one of those things, either you want to get up front, you want to try to stay away from the middle because the big one is going to happen. I mean, it's Daytona, it doesn't matter. Even the pros, you know, can't keep it clean for the whole race here. We're here for 80 laps tonight, so that's going to be a good time right now. And there's a familiar name out there on track right now, Chris, under a different number. That's James D. Miller in the 09 right now tonight, going out trying to make his run.
James Miller in the 09, very different number. It's going to take us a little while to get used to that one, I'm afraid. But James Miller, last season's champion, wrapped it up kind of early and was able to hold on to it throughout the playoffs of the season. And Miller had a pretty darn good season. He was very consistent last year. He didn't have the win percentage maybe, but consistency was the key, as it always is on these long seasons. Another driver stepping toe out on track. It's going to be the 54, Matt Gruenberg. Gruenberg missed most of last season, but he did stop in for a few races and saw some success in those races that he was in as he resets the car.
I'm not exactly sure what Gruenberg is doing. I think he's just having some fun down there, Chris, on pit road.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Jake McDonald in the 15 getting set to take his green flag lap. And the 15 looks pretty good out there so far.
As you can see, he's doing the trick. He's staying up right up that top line, right up against that wall, Chris, getting every little piece of momentum and speed out of that number 15 as he possibly can. And we'll see him. I mean, that's what a lot of guys will do. Some guys will drop down there, go in the backstretch, they'll get down towards the apron there, but usually that first lap you want to keep it right up against that outside wall. You cross the start finish line, you know, you use that next lap just to do what you have to do. Try to stay up there towards the top, gain as much speed as you can, and then all of a sudden you're going to drop down. Once you cross that start finish line, you're going to ride that apron.
Rick, I don't know if you've looked at the qualifying board lately, but look at who has the pole. Jeffrey Fisher, and look at the margin over second place so far. Troy Leonard, a 49.704 versus a 49.705. Very close lap times.
Very, very close, and that's pretty cool to see, Chris. And I mean, you know, that's one guy that I missed out there seeing. Troy Leonard out there. He's got the Smart Water car team.
What?
I'm gonna let it slide.
What?
For the season opener. Yeah.
You got what?
Smart water. I don't even know what that is. And I don't know. Maybe the contract with Coke just dried up. It was one season only.
We're gonna have to talk to him about that. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. He's never in team speak for us to talk to him.
Now I talked to Thomas Wagner, just so the drivers know when you watch this back, if you're not in team speak, you actually get docked 145 points for every race that you're not in team speak. So yeah. And I'm sending any Coke driver a case of Pepsi. Just saying.
Oh, Gruenberg, I don't know what he was doing, but he is out on track right now. So far, 15th quickest in that Toyota Camry. Good looking Mobile 1 paint job to start the season. And we're not going to fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever the car count is at the start of this one probably won't be what it is at the end. Daytona, known for taking out mass quantities of cars, and it'll do it in a heartbeat.
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons why. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, when February comes around, I'm pretty much sick of winter, especially being up here in northeastern Vermont, Chris. I mean, you know, it's nice at first, and then when Christmas comes, the snow can go away. It doesn't. So these guys, you turn on the TV, you're watching NASCAR. They're down in Daytona, Florida. It's sunny, it's warm, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch this now. I used to watch it just for the sun, but now it's more about the crash. You know that big one is going to come, and sim racing is no different. You know that big one's going to come here. These cars are going to be racing very, very close together here, Chris, and it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of cars on that one track tonight. If everybody takes the field, we're looking at over 25 cars, I believe. So that's going to get kind of interesting, and it's going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's great turnout. Sammy Garcia, he stepped up to the line, knows he doesn't have enough time to get around the track, so he just stays there as Gruenberg looking to finish his qualifying effort. And right now, Matt Gruenberg sitting in 8th spot. So Jake McDonald was able to take away the pole from Jeffrey Fisher, and he did it in fine fashion, a 49.661 versus Fisher's 49.704. And then Troy Leonard with a 49.705, Rick, and that is the top three as we get ready to grid them up. Well, as you said, Rick, it's going to be a rather large field here tonight, and I think we should just start getting right through it. On your pole tonight, the number 15, that's going to be Jake McDonald to his outside. Oh, Lord. The 06 of Jeffrey Fisher. I say that because that should be the 60. It'll always be the 60 in my head. Not much I can do about that. Starting in third, it's going to be the 45 of Troy Leonard. Tyler Footy going to be starting in fourth in the 40 on his outside. Eric Lyda going to be starting the 33 in the inside third row, and Adrian Pedra going to be starting outside of that third row in sixth spot in his number 78. Scott Mertz going to be starting the 75 in seventh spot. Matt Gruenberg was able to pull an eighth place out of his qualifying effort. Zachary Taylor going to be starting 9th, and Rick Austin Dobbyshire going to be starting 10th in the number 64.
And starting in row number 6 and 11th position, that's going to be the 9 car, Ruben Zapita. Next to him is going to be in 12th position, is going to be Tony Edmondson. A couple of new names that we got to get used to. Thomas Wagner qualifies his number 43 in 13th position in row number 7. Next to him, Miguel Zapita in the 41, going to be starting 14th. The 09, James D. Miller is going to be starting 15th in row 8. Next to him is going to be the 88 of Jeffrey Cox, starting in 16th. 17th, Austin Johnson, going to be starting in that 21 and 17th. Next to him, it's actually showing 19th on my screen for some reason. The 14th is Jeff Price. Then 20th, we have Trenton Sneed. 21st going to be Samuel Garcia in the Swifty machine. Andrew Beach qualifies number 3 and 22nd. 23rd is Timothy Madonna. 24th, Derek Garrison in that beautiful number 11, Chris, out there. Next to him, Joshua Kane in the 28, going to be starting 25th. Ryan Flanagan and Louis Arcado, both guys we haven't talked about too much last season, but they're here again here tonight. Going to be starting on row number 13 to 26 and 27, and that rounds out the field.
So again, one huge field to start this season off, and we're doing it right here in Daytona on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And Haley, face it should be the 60. Why those guys changed numbers, I will never know. I want to thank everybody for coming out here on a Friday night. We really do appreciate the support, as does the Relentless Racing Series, guys. This means a lot to have this many people out here on a Friday night season opener in Daytona. And Rick, I am so happy to be here with you tonight. This is going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one, man. And just look at the number already out here watching, Chris. I mean, that's just us saying we missed you guys. So glad to have you guys back. Terry Foster out there. You got Fish Guts, Haley, Warren, Indy, Jamie. It's awesome. Skittles is out there. And a bunch of other people haven't said anything. We know that they're quiet, but I know that they're watching. We miss you guys. Welcome back here to Turn 3 Racing Network. Let's get it going as the green flag drops, Chris.
Green flag is out for race number 1, lap 1 of the Relentless Racing Series. Let's get it on.
Get it on is exactly what the number 15 is doing, Chris. Jake McDonald got a really good restart, but listen, it's Daytona, baby. You don't get huge unless you make these guys lose the draft. But now he's got some pressure there on the outside. The 06, the 40 working very well together. What an outstanding job, man. I love Daytona.
Fisher took the lead over, dropped down to the inside. That leaves Tyler Footy. Footy to the outside. He was by himself for a little bit. The 64, Austin Derbyshire moves in place. The inside line so far has the advantage. The 15 with Jake McDonald pushing the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher. And Fisher right now still in the race lead. Derbyshire peeks out to the outside, looking to maybe go 3, collects the spots, gets back on the back bumper of the 40. Footy likes that idea a little bit more than going 3 wide on lap 2.
Terry, I definitely gotta agree, man. I mean, Chris and I are lucky. We have some of the best leagues out there, and they're on the perfect night. We got a Wednesday night thing going on. We got these guys here on Friday. We got you guys over there on Sunday, man, and they're all leagues that we would love to join. One of them we actually ran on Wednesday nights there, but it's fabulous. Chris and I are very blessed.
Tight pack racing so far here from the Relentless Racing Series, Daytona International Speedway, as we start lap number 3. And look at Derbyshire. He is pushing the heck out of the 40. Derbyshire pushing the 40 to the lead. Tyler Footy holding on for dear life as Derbyshire, I swear, he is halfway into that 40 car.
Got a fan out there for the driver, the number 8, Trenton Sneed, right now sitting in 22nd position, Chris. Back a little farther. Hey, that's not a bad place to be, That way you can just do your thing. You got to hang on to that draft, keep some cars around you to work together. And right now, the 28th, the 8, and the 3 looking really good there next to each other, helping each other out. They can kind of get away from the pack, let those guys race hard and do what they have to do. There's a lot of racing here. We're only on lap number 4 of 80. So Trent Sneed has no worries right now to push himself to the front. Just going to take his time, keep that car nice and clean, and he'll get there.
Race fans talk about bringing back a little bit of memories. Look what we have on track. The 8 decked out in Junior's old paint scheme. Behind him, the Good Wrench Service Chevrolet. Oh my goodness, driven by Andrew Beach. What a great looking car. I miss that car. I'm not even lying. The Good Wrench Service Plus, man. And then look at this. Ryan Flanagan finishing it out with a 55 Napa Auto Parts, Napa Know-How. Hello. If that doesn't bring back memories, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what does, but how cool is that to see those 3 cars and they're running together on track, which is even better.
You know, I mean, even though Flanagan's car is a 55, Chris, and obviously back then when we were really talking about it, it was the 15 at that time. But I don't know about you dudes, but right now I'm looking at my arms and I got goosebumps.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff happening on the track tonight, man. Memories are there for sure, and it's really cool to watch. Let's check out middle of the field. We got Jeffrey Cox driving the number 88. He is kind of hanging out in the backside of what appears to be the second group, although it looks like that second group is really catching the first group, and we've got one going around, the 23 going around. Oh boy, and that ain't all. Tony Edmondson going for a ride, and boy, oh boy, we're gonna have to go back, take a look at that one as we are under caution. A lap number 6 of 80. So we're watching the 23. These guys deciding to go 3 wide, except for the 09 was there. And contact being made. That 09, the 18 comes in, hits hard too. Rick, we're going to have to go back one more time, take another look at this one. Because we didn't catch it all the first time through. We're going to go back in the field just a little bit for a little bit on the 09 and James Miller. Jeez, they were crashing in front of him too. The 86 gets involved, 15, the 3 hard hit, and then the 11. The Turn 3 Racing Network car driven by Derek Garrison, the last one in, and here we are under caution. And I can't even call that the big one, Rick.
No, not a big one, but I did take out a good number of cars there, Chris. I mean, one good thing, as you saw on the weight screen there, if you're a little bit late here tuning in, these guys do have one fast repair here, and that's good, because you don't want to end your night here on lap number 6 of 80, Chris. There's still a lot of racing left to do, so some of these guys, unfortunately, going to have to use that fast repair. They are running only 50% fuel here tonight, and we have stage racing, so that first stage caution flag will be flying at lap 25 and then 50, and then it's going to be a shootout from 51 to lap 80.
Want to go ahead and thank everybody once again for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network here on a Friday night. It's Labor Day weekend, so we thank you for starting your holiday weekend with us and the Relentless Racing Series here in Daytona. And again, I can't think of a better way to kind of close down a work week than to watch a really good race, and Daytona certainly known for that. Just like I can't think of a better way to start your work week than with a Sunday night race courtesy of the Blazing Pedals. Rick, you hit the nail on the head. We are awful lucky for the leagues that we have, and coming up very, very soon, we're going to be working more nights than not right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Guys, if this is your first time tuning in, don't forget that hit it. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that notification bell, and that'll let you know when we go live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And I think we're going to take a quick break here as we are under caution. This is lap 7 of 80, and we'll be right back. Cars filing in 2 by 2, getting ready to go back to the green flag. Very quick round of pit stops. Jeffrey Fisher, your race leader in the 06. On his outside, the 40 of Tyler Footy. Another Napa car. I didn't notice we had 2 before. Thomas Wagner in the 43 has worked his way up the 3rd. Jake McDonald in the 15. Actually, excuse me, McDonald is actually in 3rd, and Wagner in 4th on the outside. We are getting set to go back to the green flag. The 33, Eric Leiter, running 5th spot. Zach Taylor running on his outside in 6th position. So far, 2 lead changes. The fastest lap put on by Flanagan in the 55. Look at that time, 45.993. Rick, that's huge. Remember, our best qualifying time was in the 49s.
Yeah, I mean, once you get into the track, though, I mean, these cars will just fly across and pick up so much speed that it's just kind of amazing.
Two-and-a-half-mile track, Daytona. Pace car drops off the field, and we get set to go back to the green flag. Green is out. Jeffrey Fisher restarting to the inside front row.
And that no 06, and that looks just fabulous here under the light. I mean, that's another thing that we didn't talk about, Chris. We're starting at Daytona. Usually this is a daytime race for these guys. They start it under the lights here, and these cars look beautiful under these lights.
Ooh, we got some bumping going on in second spot. There goes Fisher to the inside. He gathers it back up. Somehow, Jeffrey Fisher able to hold on. Now he's got to get back out on track. He does. A little bit of damage to the right rear of that car, but not too bad. That will affect his speed here in Daytona, though. Heavy drafting track. Got to keep those fenders straight. The back end of the 06 has some damage.
Yeah, he's in a good spot, though. Look who's right behind him there. That's the 88 Jeffrey Cox. That Hellman's Mayonnaise throwback looking pretty good out there tonight on track.
Rick, I know it's early, but it's Friday night, and I think we've all worked really hard for it. What do you say we go ahead and crank it up?
All right.
Going on right now as we got 3 wide. Oh, the 88 getting in trouble. The 88 is in big time trouble, and he is going around taking a couple with him. The 33 involved, the 21, the 28 avoiding, looks like to the inside. Caution flag waving for the second time here in Daytona. Jeffrey Cox went for a ride. These guys were running 3 wide, Rick, and it's awful early to be pushing that hard. We'll go back and take a peek. All right, so we're watching the 88. He was running in 4th spot. These guys were starting to get a little antsy up front. The 06, he starts moving himself forward, and he does it through the sucker hole. He takes over position for the lead. The 43 of Thomas Wagner fighting back on the inside. We're watching the 88 of Jeffrey Cox. They go 3 wide. The 78 gets a bump. The 5 gets bumped. The 8 goes below the yellow line, and that is the end of the story. tough to come back out on track. When you go below that yellow line, your best course of action, to slow down a little bit, find a hole. And the 88 wasn't patient enough, and he came back out on track, and we are under caution once again. So race leader going to be the 43 of Thomas Wagner. Wagner going to collect bonus points for leading a lap so far. Jeffrey Fisher has led 7, Footy has led 4, and now Pedra has led 1. Wagner faking him out just a little bit. Comes back out in front of that commitment line, so no need to come down pit road for Thomas Wagner. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. This has been a blast so far. Good times being back out here on a Friday night. These guys putting on a show right here in Daytona. Season opener for the Relentless Racing Series, and so glad to be a part of their season once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Chris, and with me tonight going to be Rick Hammond Jr. Rick had to step away to help his wife do something really quick, funny enough, but he'll be back in just a moment. So right now, you got me and I've got you, and I want you to tell me who you think is going to win tonight. I know it's a little early for that, but, you know, wild guesses, and then later on I'll ask you again, and we'll see if the story changes a little bit. It'll be fun. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody, once again, from all of us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. So excited to have everybody who is a fan come out to races just about every night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we really do appreciate the time you spend with us here on YouTube and get to know our race car drivers and our personalities. Fish guts. I kind of knew you were going to go with that one. Hopefully the sights and sounds are okay for you tonight, guys. We've had a couple of problems over the last couple of broadcasts. I think I straightened them out right before we were able to go live tonight. Didn't have a good chance to test them out, so hopefully everything is looking and sounding just as good as ever, maybe even better. We are under the lights here at Daytona, and the crowd is huge. Not a sitting spot in the stadium. As you can see, the crowd is full. Sold out show here in Daytona. Trenton Sneed being picked by Sim Racer 2001. And right now, Sneed is running in 9th position. Thank you, Terry. I'm pretty sure I could broadcast old standby graphics and Terry would tell me it looks awesome. Sounds great. But I do appreciate it, Terry. Terry Foster, unofficial member of us here in Turn 3 Racing Network. Terry, sometime, you're going to have to take a Friday night and join us up in the booth here for a little Xfinity cars. We did enjoy having you in the booth there a couple of weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. Also glad you're feeling a lot better. Can't wait to see the 86 out on track this coming. Oh, no, not this coming week. We're off this Sunday. I forgot. Next Sunday. Two-and-a-half-mile track does provide for some pretty long cautions, but we should be going lights out here when they cross the start-finish line this time by. We've got one Crank It Up in the books. We're going to be doing another one tonight. Heck yeah. Since I got everything working right, it seems, we might as well take advantage of it. And this is the best track. This and Talladega. Man, if you can't enjoy a Crank It Up at Daytona or Talladega, I don't know. Cars lining up 2 by 2, getting ready to push that loud pedal once again. The 2019 Ford Mustang GT pace car, the official pace car of the Relentless Racing Series. has the lights off. They're getting ready to go back to the green flag. Thomas Wagner, your race leader, to his outside the 15 of Jake McDonald. Zachary Taylor has worked his way up to third position in his number 5 car. Austin Derbyshire is running in 4th position. Matt Gruenberg seemingly out of nowhere up to 5th position. Tyler Footy, he's running his 40 in 6th position with Adrian Pedra and Troy Leonard picking up the next row. Row number 5 going to be Trenton Sneed and Andrew Beach, the 8 and the 3, still getting around this track. Pace car is in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Super high banks here at Daytona. We'll definitely make sure to bring you some gyro cam action. And that's it. We're all back onto the first part of the front stretch. Pace car should be dropping off. There it goes. Now the car is working their way to the tri-oval. Green flag is out. Thomas Wagner has control. Thomas Wagner in control of the field. The 5 of Zach Taylor trying to help him out, pushing out towards the lead just a little bit more. The 54, Matt Gruenberg, being patient. Ooh, Thomas Wagner with a couple of blinks. This is not the track you want to be doing that. Oh, this is better than two. Oh, no. Oh, Tarek. What are we going to do about the grid walk? Pre-record it. That's what you do. Pre-record it, send me a file. 15 on the outside. Jake McDonald starting to get ahead of steam. He's got Austin Derbyshire. He's working his way right behind the 15. He's trying to push him to the front. So far, what we've seen is the car on the outside would get the advantage and then drop down to the inside. This time, no. Derbyshire drops down the inside. Austin Derbyshire looking to try and lead one here in Daytona. Right now has a slight advantage over the 15 of McDonald as we come out of the corner down the long backstretch. And that inside lane doesn't have anything for the outside lane so far. Here it goes. It's starting to gather up some steam once again. The 15 drops down, and that puts the 3 by himself on the outside. That's Andrew Beach. Beach looking to try and make his way towards the front. The 78 helping him out, Adrian Pedra. Derbyshire moves up into the sucker hole. They're going 3 wide on the front row. This didn't work out so good the last time they tried it. Right now, Derbyshire holding on to the middle. Jake McDonald, your race leader, the 3. That's Andrew Beach. Beach holding on to the outside. He's trying to do it by himself with some side drafting. That'll only last for a little while, especially when you're on that way up lane. And now we go back to 3 wide racing, row 3. And it looks like the 3 car, Andrew Beach, may be shuffling himself back into the up lane. Oh my heart. After all is said and done, Jake McDonald has the race lead. Derbyshire on the outside trying to fight back. Thomas Wagner in the 43 with a head of steam. Maybe looking to go to the sucker hole. The 64 gets a little loose. May have had some contact. The 6 gets into him. They all shuffle around and gather it back up somehow. Oh my. I do not know how we just didn't see the big one. Incredible action. Incredible pace. That does leave the 3. Andrew Beach driving with the Adrian Pedra 1 and 2. And look at the gap they've got. That could work against them in a big way. These guys back here are starting to reel them back in, and they're going to do it quickly. Austin Derbyshire almost went for a ride, able to save it. He gets in the 6. The 6 gets, oh my. I don't know how these guys are saving these cars. You want to talk about Relentless? Relentless Racing Series is back, ladies and gentlemen, and they are proving that their name is not just a name, it's how they drive, in fact. Andrew Beach out front. He moves over. He knows he doesn't have a head of steam. The guys in front of him did, and they are gone. Beach moves back up on track, thinks better of it. Now comes back up front. I think things were getting a little too hot for him, and he moves on back. Not a bad idea. Out front now, Matt Gruenberg. Gruenberg is going to be the 7th race leader, maybe 8th. I'm losing count. Ladies and gentlemen, action happening way too fast for me to keep up tonight. This is great. The 54, that's Matt Gruenberg. The 41, Miguel Zepeda. Zepeda has moved himself up to second, and look who's running in third. James Miller, last season's champion, involved in the very first caution. Now running in third spot. He's using side draft to stay there, and that's not going to last. He moves down into line. So we've got a 3-car breakaway. The 15 of Jake McDonald trying to catch that pack, and he may bring the next pack along with him. That's led by Austin Derbyshire. The 5 of Zachary Taylor. The 40 of Tyler Footy, and Thomas Wagner trying to join that group along with the 50 of Sammy Garcia. Woo! Gotta take a breath. Unbelievable action. This is great. Cars starting to kind of go nose to tail for a little bit here, but it's lap 23, and we do have stage racing going on. First stage ends in lap 25, so there might be a last-minute push here. You got about a lap and a half before the caution's scheduled to come out. Change the driver's suit. Terry, I gotta change my chair. I'm just commentating. I'm only using about a third of it anyway. I might as well just stand up. Lap 24. Next time by, caution will wave. That's going to be for the stage. Right now, Matt Gruenberg out front. The 41, Miguel Zepeda, steps it out. The 09 of James Miller catches the back bumper. The 54 gives him a little push. The 41 loses momentum. He's going backwards. Gruenberg, your stage 1 winner. Holy cow, these guys, unbelievable driving. And I believe Miguel Zepeda may have had a problem. We're going to have to go back and take a peek, but your stage 1 winner is Matt Gruenberg. We'll go back real quick just to take a peek. Yeah, the 41 was into the wall. And I don't believe that was enough to actually bring out the caution. Now the caution was for the end of the stage, the 54. Congratulations, Matt Gruenberg, stage 1 winner. The very first stage of the season for these guys. And I am telling you what, they are working me over. This is about the only league that has ever made me lose my voice. They did it to me 3 times last season. They're working on it the first time again this season. My goodness. Intense action here in Daytona. It is unbelievable. Matt Gruenberg is in team speak. We'll see if he's going to be able to chat with us after he makes a pit stop. I'm assuming he's going to come down. I would assume everybody's going to come down, if not for anything, just to be able to move around a little bit. 25 laps here at Daytona, no easy task. And look at the cars filling in pit road. What an awesome thing to see. So Gruenberg, your stage 1 winner, we're going to watch and see how he comes off pit road. Looks like we've got a lot of different pit strategies being employed here. And because it's such a big track, Daytona, you don't necessarily have to go with the 4 tires. Some people just choosing to go with the left side, or excuse me, the right sides only. And Grunberg comes off pit road in third spot. Well, let's see if we're going to be able to talk to him. Matt Grunberg, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yep, I gotcha.
Hey, bud. Not a bad way to start off the season. A little stage 1 win action at 54, looking really good. You came back from a little bit further in the field just in time to win the stage. How's the car feeling for you?
I was feeling really good out here. I was glad to be back for another season. I'm really excited for it. And, starting off with a stage 1 win, it really couldn't get any better than that. So hopefully we can keep the momentum up for stage 2 and 3 here. It's been kind of crazy out here in these the first stage racing, and we kind of had to keep the car straight a little bit and avoid some wrecks, but hopefully we can keep it going.
Yeah, very good. Anybody on the 54 you'd like to thank?
Just all the guys back at the shop this week, giving me a great car as usual. But other than that, thank you guys for broadcasting. But
all right, Matt. Well, listen, we wish you luck in stage number 2. You're going to be starting third, so you've got some decisions to make. I'm sure you're aware of those, and you have yourself a good rest of the race. Hope to talk to you again real soon.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Driver of the number 54, Matt Grunberg, your stage 1 winner. Real classy guy. He is a nice guy. No doubt about it. Well, after the pit stops, we have a new race leader. It's going to be the 50th, Sammy Garcia. Zachary Taylor going to pick up second spot. Grunberg came out in third. James Miller, last season's points champion, going to return to the field in fourth spot. Tyler Footy in the 40 will round out the top 5. Then it's Jake McDonald, Troy Leonard, Scott Mertz, Ruben Zepeda, and Andrew Beach in the 3. Rounding out the top 10, you got Tony Edmondson, Austin Johnson, Timothy Madonna, Joshua Kane, and Eric Lyda rounding out the top 15. Trenton Sneed running in 16th. Austin Derbyshire, a little bit of trouble on pit road, coming out in 17th position. Derek Garrison in 18th. Ryan Flanagan, 19th. Rounding out the top 20 is the 14 of Jeffrey Price. Thomas Wagner sitting in 21st position. Jeffrey Fisher, 22nd. Jeffrey Cox, 23rd. Adrian Petra in 24th. Gavin Jones running 25th. Miguel Zepeda running in 26th position. And Louis Asardo is running 28th. The last 2 drivers, Miguel Zepeda and Louis Asardo, being scored 1 lap down as we get ready to go back under the green. So Sammy Garcia gonna take over as your race leader. Under caution, he's led 2 laps already. Pace car lights are off. We're getting set to go back under the green flag. Working the back stretch right now. And I believe Rick is rejoining me from helping his wife. So Rick, what you missed, bud, was stage 1 coming to a close.
Stage 1 coming to a close, Chris. You're absolutely right. I didn't miss it, but hey, I can watch it back later. But I hear Matt Grunberg won, so good on him. That's something that we're used to seeing out of Grunberg. I remember last season, Chris, before he took a little bit of a break, he was out there dominating. So no surprise coming out here for the season 3 opener here at Daytona under the lights, winning that stage number 1. The next stage will be dropping at lap 50.
So most drivers taking 4 tires. Garcia and Taylor deciding to take 2. We'll see if that's an issue as we get going under green. Once again, pace car is off, green flag is out, and Sammy Garcia getting a little push from the 54. Heading into turn number 1, Sammy Garcia with a good head of steam on the inside. The 5 hanging tight on the outside. Taylor has the 40 of 40, pushing him. The 54 of Gruenberg pushing the 50. The inside lane has a little bit of an advantage right now. The 50 trapped down in no man's land below the yellow line. Don't come back up. Let everybody by if you have to. Wait for the hole. Don't do it, Sammy. He does it. He waited. Good job. Oh, no, he didn't wait long enough. Got into the 43 just a little bit. The 43 able to keep going. The 50 gets back out on track fine. He now has to work his way back up to speed. He's going to lose the draft, and that's going to be the end of Sammy for just a little while, I'm afraid.
Yeah, poor Garcia there. He was stuck below that yellow line, Chris. Can't really do much when you're down there, and it's very scary. I mean, if you're down there in the front stretch or back stretch, not too bad, but once you come into those corners, that place really upsets the car, so you got to be very careful. As we saw there, he got into the side of the 43, Thomas Wagner. Thomas Wagner caught up to the track, but it seems everything's okay. And like you said, now the 50 has got to kind of work. He's got that group behind him there, so that might help out a little bit. If those guys can get together, do some single file racing, they'll be able to catch that lead pack once again. Garcia lost a lot of position though, Chris. He's sitting in 14th right now, but still not bad. He's got Austin Johnson, Andrew Beach there with him as they're actually working on the inside, kind of working together. The 21 to 3 down as they cross car finish line on the inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you think stage 1 was exciting, we're into stage 2. These guys haven't even begun to go yet. We've seen this time and time again. This is our 3rd season with the Relentless Racing Series, Rick, and one thing we know, these guys not afraid to beat and bash all the way up to the front.
Oh no, a lot of these drivers there, Chris, they're very aggressive. They'll do what they have to do to try to get towards the front, and they have fun doing it there, and it puts on some, most of the time puts on some good show. Here at Daytona, you want to kind of settle down just a little bit just because the cars are so close, but right now we got a good pack there sitting in front. Zachary Taylor and number 5, Cabela's machine, doing everything he can, trying to hold off Tyler Footy right now taking over the lead on that outside. That outside lane starting to move up. I see Matt Greenberg up there pushing that 40. He's got the 15 behind him. The 15's got the 41. So these guys definitely working together. And that's going to get interesting.
The 28 lost a little momentum, dropping below the yellow line. He finds a hole, comes back out on track. He's around the 23 of Tony Edmondson and the 1 of Gavin Jones. So he should be able to keep in touch with the tail end of that first pack. A big pack, Rick. It's 9 cars strong.
Yeah, and those guys, if they really decide to start working together, they can really put some distance in between them and that second pack. Chris Cuts, you're out there. You're absolutely right. Just when you think you're clear. Now, some of the issues, so this is something that Chris taught me. I mean, I always used to get annoyed. Chris would be like, hey, man, what are you doing? He'd be texting me, what are you doing? Listen, I'm going to be doing an official race. You need to get down the spot for me. I'm like, really? Come on. Ooh.
54 Gruenberg going around. Stage 1 winner. Facing the wrong way on track. Now mowing the lawn. The yellow flag comes out. I don't think there's a lot of damage on that 54.
No, I think he did a pretty good job there keeping it clean, Chris, but unfortunately he turned it around and going the wrong way there. I mean, it's hard here at Daytona to try to keep that car going in the right direction there, but Gruenberg did a good job. I think he just didn't want to hear the story, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh god, here goes Rick again. He's going to be rambling for like 10 minutes now. I'm like, out of the cock.
He does mow the lawn pretty well, but able to stay off of just about everything. And he is able to get that 54 righted and back out on track. So Matt Gruenberg, winner of stage 1, back out on track. He's going to be a little further back than he was. He's being scored in 24th position, just ahead of Derek Garrison. Garrison holding back quite a ways tonight, Rick. We know the 11's able to go, and so far he hasn't hit that loud button quite as hard as everybody else. Does have a little bit of damage maybe to the front end.
That car, I mean, that's something that Garrison did for us there last season, Chris. That 11 still looks very, very, I love that paint. It looks good out there.
Yeah, it definitely does have some damage. We're taking a look at it now. You can barely read the word Camaro. And it looks like both fenders, right and left, have some endless aerodynamic challenges, we'll put it that way. Back up front, the 40, and that's Tyler Footy. Footy is your new race leader. He's now led actually 6 laps, so no stranger to being up front. We've got some cars taking advantage of the yellow. They're coming down pit road. As we start working lap 35. You know, it might not be a bad idea. We're going to hop into the car of Footy. Just kind of follow him around the track. Give you an idea of just how steep the banking is here in Daytona.
And I can promise people too, number one, I've been to the track in real life, so iRacing does not do it justice. Number two, if you're just doing on a single or maybe even a triple monitor, Chris, you'd have to tell me that because I've never had triples there with iRacing. I went right from a single to VR. But really, I didn't really notice the banking until I got into VR.
Well, it definitely gets amplified by the VR, and the thing that I'll say, if you haven't visited Daytona before, they'll take you around the outside of the track, and you get a chance to kind of look down the track, and you truly are looking down the track at the angle that you're looking. And you see these guys on Sundays, they race these things 3 wide. Of course, we've seen some of that here tonight with the Relentless Racing Series. And Rick, to this day, I can't tell you how they fit 3 cars across on that track.
No, you know, when you're watching it on TV, Chris, you're like, okay, there's tons of room there. But like you said, when you go up there on one of the turns, and they actually took us over to turns 4, where we were able to look down the track there, and I'm looking at it going, there's no way. Like how, I mean, I understand the speed of the cars and the way that the momentum and the gravity works and everything, you know, it keeps the cars there. But if you haven't, like you said, definitely put that on your bucket list. Make it a trip because it's something that you'll remember.
Yeah, truly a lot of fun to be had. Of course, you see the winner of the Daytona 500 cars just hanging in the air above your head. That's so cool. I dig it. I got to get back down there.
We're thinking February, but I don't know if that's going to happen now because of other situations in the household.
Ooh, we've got our very first. We're being told that the 78, the NOS machine of Adrian Pedro, is going to be the winner tonight.
And I know who painted that car, Chris. That's Jeffrey Fisher out there painted that car. And he did a fabulous job, man. That 78 looks beautiful out there tonight.
Thank you to Jonathan. Thank you to Jonathan, first person out in chat, that he's putting it out on the line. He's saying, hey, the 78 is going to win. Right now, 78 looking pretty good. He's running a little better than half pack. He's in 11th position. He has led 1 lap so far, so he's got that going for him. He knows how to be up front. Does have a little bit of damage to the rear end of the 78 though, Rick.
Yeah, I was just going to say that there. He's got the T3RN 33 Racing Network sticker there on the back bumper, and that back bumper a little bit scuffed up, but hey, listen, if you need somebody to buff that out, I know a guy.
I guess you're not the first, actually, Jonathan, because, well, I think Fish Guts actually beat you to the punch just a little bit there. But I knew what he was going to say. Pace car lights are off, Rick. We got about 2.5 miles to go before we go back to the green flag. And Tyler Footy going to be a race leader. 2 is outside, Jake McDonald. Austin Derbyshire has worked his way up the 3rd spot. The 9 of Ruben Zepeda is running in 4th. The 23 of Tony Edmondson is running in 5th position, and it looks like he's got some damage to the rear end of that car. Uh-oh. Now Terry's throwing down an 86. That's Timothy Madonna in the 86 machine. A lot of front end damage, Rick. These guys really pushing on each other pretty hard out there.
Now, one thing to note, Chris, is that these guys do have one fast repair. Now, if you can go out there and do what you have to do, stay with the pack, wait towards that last half of the race there, use that fast repair if you still have it, come out here with a fresh car. I mean, that's something that we normally see here at Relentless. There's a good group of drivers, and I almost said the 25 and the 60, but those numbers have all changed now. The 06, he's a guy that is good for that. Thomas Wagner also in his 43, he will wait until that last minute to use that fast repair unless he absolutely positively has to. So it's going to get interesting out there to see what happens with these guys with the fast repairs.
The 2019 Ford Mustang GT official pace car of the Relentless Racing Series for the 2019 Fall Series pulls on the pit road, and we go back under the green flag. Tyler Footy with a really good restart, and that may bite him, Rick. You don't want to get that far out. It's going to give people, ooh, we got one blowing up.
Yeah, we got stuff going on in the back there, Chris.
That's the 5. Zachary
yeah.
Taylor, that motor is getting set to expire. Everybody's trying to duck down underneath him. The 86 just does. And the 5 having some serious issues, calling down pit road saying, boys, get the hot dogs and hamburgers ready. I'm coming. That car is getting set to barbecue. It does still have power.
Yeah, Chris, I'm actually in the cockpit view, and it's sounding pretty rough there. He actually has the clutch in right now. He's just trying to get back to pit road as quick as he possibly can without doing any more damage to that number 5. That's unfortunate there for Taylor.
So Zachary Taylor should be able to get back down to pit road. If he has a quick repair, he should be able to get back out on track. And we are starting a lap number. We're on lap 39 of 80. Austin Derbyshire in the 64, pushing the 40 of Tyler Footy now. The 64 moves up to the outside. That's going to allow Thomas Wagner to pick up the back bumper of the 40. Derbyshire in the sucker hole all by himself. Will anybody go to the middle to help out? Actually, the 9 shuffles out. And Derbyshire finds himself in the middle once again with 3 wide. The 40 of Footy moved down to help McDonald. And that's truly what he's doing. He's helping him. He's right on the back bumper, pushing him. Might be working together a little bit. Had to switch positions. And Derbyshire falls back to the tail end of that group. Then we go back to Scott Mertz. He's the driver of the... Actually, we're going to go to Samuel Garcia. Garcia is running the 50 and 8th position. Behind him is Scott Mertz in the 75. Jeff Price running the 14 in 10th position. He rounds out that position. The 21, Austin Johnson, the DC Solar Machine, running in 11th position. Gruenberg, we saw him have a little bit of a problem. He mowed the grass a little bit. He got the grass out of the front, and he is motoring back on. He's in 12th spot now. Andrew Beach in the 3 truck car. He is running in 13th position. I give a little chuckle because I'm so used to saying truck nowadays. So Beach has the 55, Ryan Flanagan, right behind him. Those 2 cars working together. The 1, Gavin Jones, working the inside. Look at the suck up he's getting. Look at the position he got just by getting close to the back bumper of the 75. He was able to really close the gap. Adrian Pedro in the 78. Looks like he's a little bit slow right now. Trying to get back above that yellow line. Don't want to do it yet. Wait for him to go by. Now's a good time. Pedro drops all the way down to 22nd position. Jeffrey Fisher in the 06. He's running in 16th position. He's got Troy Leonard behind him. Joshua Kane running the 28. Super clean car right now. The iBuy Power has a little bit of damage to the front, but not too bad. The 8 behind him, that's Trenton Sneed. The 86, Timothy Madonna, is rounding out the top 20 right now. Adrian Pedra in the 78 running 21st. And Eric Lyda, looking like his car has seen better days. Lyda running in 22nd right now. Garrett Garrison, we saw the front end damage on the 11 and definitely not up to speed, but right now holding on to the lead lap. James Miller in the 09, last season's champion, finds himself in 24th position. 1 lap down, Miguel Zepeda also 1 lap down, running in 25th position. Luisardo 1 lap down in the 18, running in 26th position. Zachary Taylor looks to have retired from this race. As we go back up front, big one in the front. The 9 was collected. Thomas Wagner got loose, got into the 9 of Ruben Zepeda, and Zepeda has to gather it back up. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. So we're watching the 9. That's Ruben Zepeda. He's got the 43 of Thomas Wagner to his outside. And these guys were pushing pretty hard. The 23, that's Tony Edmondson. He's on the inside, right behind the 9. The 43 gets a good run, comes down, and the 9 is right on the back bumper. Now the 9 has a good run, goes down to the inside. The 43 may not have known he was there. Gets into him a little bit, comes down into him even harder. Austin Derbyshire gets pushed into the wall. The 3 just misses it. Look at those close calls there. Holy cow.
And that there just comes with good pack racing, Chris. I mean, that's just something that is bound to happen.
Jake McDonald, your new race leader after all that is said and done. We're on lap 45 of 80. Stage number 2 scheduled to end on lap 50. So I think we're going to go back to green, come back into caution. As Daytona really starting to take a toll on some of these cars, but of course, a lot of these drivers holding on to that fast repair, Rick. We'll be amazed how clean and non-damaged they look. Oh, Austin Derbyshire just went poop. At 64, we heard the motor go, and there was a little bit of smoke. The 09 steps in and gives him a hand. That's quality friendship right there. Last season's champion James Miller pushing to get Derbyshire down pit road. And that 64 is not happy. So if the 64 has a quick repair left, they'll go up on the jacks, come out a brand new car. That's something you don't see in the real world. The motor expiring like that, Rick, and the car's done for the day. But that kind of sportsmanship doesn't really exist out there anymore either.
I was just going to say that. I mean, unfortunately, you don't see that in the real world, but that was good on James Miller there. He's like, hey, listen, we're under caution. I'm going to help this guy out. The Goose doing everything that he possibly can to help out one of his league mates get back to pit road. I mean, if not, Derbyshire would have had to take a tow, and that's a couple minutes here at Daytona, so that would be catastrophic, And if Derbyshire, like you said, if he actually has that fast repair, Chris, he's going to be okay. He'll get right back out on track, and that's exactly what happened. That number 64 now looking nice and clean. The one sim team member right back out there, ready to go again.
Would like to thank everybody once again for coming out on a Friday night, ending your work week strong right here with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We're watching the Relentless Racing Series, Xfinity cars, start their season strong in Daytona. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for tuning in and being a part of our family right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Air temperatures dropped a couple of degrees down to 69. Track temperatures dropped 1. Not going to make that big of a difference here in Daytona, though. That 1 degree on the track temperature, that's nothing. That wind speed does make a difference, though, Rick. At 12 miles per hour out of the southeast.
I got one of them little tropical storms coming in this weekend.
Very true. And how cool is it that iRacing is so on their game that they can see that wind speed already. Unbelievable detail. Really great stuff. Guys, we're going to step away, take one more commercial break, and we will be right back. We're back. Pace car lights are out. We're at Daytona. The Relentless Racing Series getting ready to go back under the green flag. And Rick, we're going to have a one-lap shootout to win stage number 2. Who's it going to be? We got Jake McDonald, Jeffrey Cox on the front row, Thomas Wagner sitting there in third spot. Nope, excuse me. The 45, Troy Leonard sitting in third spot. Wagner sitting in fourth to the outside. The 40, Tyler Footy, he's running in the inside third row. To his outside, the 21 of Austin Johnson. So some names we haven't called really a ton of so far this race. They're racing out front right now, and with one lap to go, anything goes.
Yeah, McDonald's number 15, Ford EcoBoost looking good on there. He's a teammate there with Eric Lyda and Shift Point Motorsports right now. And one thing that's kind of cool, Chris, and I want to mention this earlier, when I was looking at a couple of the different paint schemes that are out there of Jeff Price. I threw up a little link there. Remember, we learned the last season about beneaththeskinonline.org. So I want to plug that. But I also see on the 15 and the 33, the awareness ribbon still on the side of those cars. So that's pretty cool out there to see still.
Green flag is back out. The Relentless Racing Series gets it going once again. Lap number 49. Lap 50. Remember the caution flag slated to come back out. That's for stage number 2 right now. Jake McDonald, he's your race leader, and he has got a little bit of a lead, but that is not exactly what you want. Here comes the 45 to fill the hole on the inside. The 88 of Cox on the outside. Cox takes over the race lead. Thomas Wagner pushing him, and Jeffrey Cox to the front. The 43 still holding.
Yeah, 43 still holding there. Chris got the 21 of Austin Johnson behind him helping. So these guys really working together to push. And Thomas Wagner gets a little bit down below that yellow line there, but able to hang on. It's a massive shootout. Now 43 is going to be looked on the outside, but decided, no, I'm going to stay right here for right now. And there is stage number 2.
Caution is out once again. Jeffrey Cox going to be your stage number 2 winner.
Up there doing it for Dale Jr.
Doing it for Dale. awesome racing going on so far tonight. Stage 2 comes to a close. Ackman, don't worry about being late. You're here now. That's all that counts. It's been a lot of fun. You might want to rewind this one. Check out the last 10 laps or so at stage 1. Oh my, that was... I'm still tired from that. These guys almost made me lose my voice again.
Man out there looking to support his boy. Joshua Kane doing a good job out there in his number 28 tonight. Sitting in 14th right now. I don't expect Kane to be there too much longer there, Chris. That high powered number 28 looking strong. Got a little bit of damage there, but I think he's going to be okay.
Again, want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We've got the Relentless Racing Series starting off their race season here in Daytona. We're under caution for stage number 2, or stage 2 winner, Jeffrey Cox. Pit stops are happening, Rick.
And why not? There's a lot of drivers out there, Chris. They want 4 new Goodyears. They want another full tank of Sunoco racing fuel. Get ready. I mean, lap 51 of 80 right now, so now's the time to start making the moves. If you've been holding on to your equipment, maybe holding on to that fast repair, the fast repair is kind of tricky. I mean, you would think that there might be another caution here, but do you really want to chance that? He's been doing a fabulous job out here in Daytona tonight.
Jeffrey Cox is in King's Peak, and just bear with me just a moment here as got to move him down and tune his radio in. Jeffrey Cox, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Well, bud, that was a pretty exciting stage 2, and it looks like you ended it in the right spot because P1. Congratulations on winning stage number 2, just the second stage of the season. How's the car feeling for you?
Car feels really good. Got into trouble early, fixed it, didn't like how I was running, so I just did a fast repair and running pretty good. Hopefully we can take it home and get the checkered flag here tonight.
All right. Anybody on the 88 you need to thank tonight?
I thank Helms for coming on board for this race, and hopefully we can get them a win.
All right, bud. Congratulations once again, winning stage 2. Great job.
All right, guys. Thanks. Hope you enjoy the rest of the race.
Good luck the rest of the way. That is the 88 of Jeffrey Cox. Stage number 2 winner. Congratulations goes out to the 88 team once again. Being in the right spot at the right time, able to take advantage and winning that stage.
And of course, Jeffrey Cox, I know you're going to be listening to this after the race there, bud, because you want to hear yourself on the interview. I know you do. Number 1, congratulations on stage 2 win, but if you're going to use that paint scheme next week, change those rims to white. That's going to make it 100% good to go. But also, if you do get the checkered flag tonight, you got to take 2 pieces of bread. You got to put some Hellman's mayonnaise on there, slice up a banana, put that on there, sprinkle a little sugar, and have yourself a banana and mayonnaise sandwich, and I promise you, you'll like it. Listen, you have to, man. If you haven't had a mayonnaise and banana sandwich, I mean, obviously Dale Jr. brought that to light. It is a southern thing. I've heard about it before. I had it when I was a kid. They use Duke's mayonnaise, but we ain't got that up here in the Northeast. Well, we do. You just gotta find it. And I think there's one store up in the Northeast Kingdom that has like a stockpile of it. But put that Hellman's on there, man. Nice key of banana, a little bit of sugar. I'll have to make one of those for you at the shop one day.
I don't know exactly what to say, except for a lot of cars all of a sudden looking pretty new. The 21 Austin Johnson on that list, Rick.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys actually. I mean, that's one thing that we talked about earlier in the broadcast, Chris, for stage 1. I mean, there's a lot of drivers here. We're used to seeing it week in and week out with the regulars here at Relentless. Season 3 starting, so a lot of new names, but You know, this doesn't surprise me. There's actually a few of them that I thought maybe would have hung on to it just for a little bit. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to be going green next time by.
Getting set to go back to the action. And 78 is coming for you.
78, yeah. Adrian Pedra, he's up there, sitting in there. He's right up towards the front row, Chris. So he's been working. Of course, that paint made by Jeffrey Fisher. And man, he did a beautiful job. As a painter myself, Chris, that's just outstanding.
So front row is going to be Austin Johnson, Tyler Footy. Footy's been up front for most of this night. Ricky's been able to lead about 11 laps so far. And then you've got the 78 NOS powered of Adrian Pedra. The 23 Tony Edmondson running in fourth place, rounding out the top five. The 43 of Thomas Wagner. Wagner, one of those drivers that it appears he opted to get himself a new car during this break in the action. The 15 of Jake McDonald is going to be sitting on his outside in sixth spot.
I love it, Chris. Haley Fish out there. Come on, Fish. Swim your way to the front.
Really love the crowd that we gather during some of our race broadcasts. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for chatting with us. It's always a blast. And we are back under the green flag. Austin Johnson, your race leader, the 78, getting a really good restart. Pedra on his way towards the front. He's got one more car to get around before he can be called a leader, though, and it's Austin Johnson. The outside just not formed up at all. The 40 of Tyler Footy having no help at all. Drops down to the inside. He picks up Thomas Wagner. Wagner to his back bumper. Now it's two groups of two and followed by, I don't know what's followed. Oh my goodness, they're spreading out now the outside, trying to form back up. It's Tyler Footy to the outside. Thomas Wagner decided to follow him through. The 50, Sammy Garcia holds to the inside. Jake McDonald right there with him.
Right now, Footy, Thomas Wagner trying to make that outside lane work. They're looking for a little bit of help now. It looks like the 45, Troy Leonard, in the smart water. He decided to go up there, Chris, but he's a little ways back. I mean, you know, he's got some work to do. He's got the three right behind him. They're trying to get up there, and it looks like they're starting to catch up to that back bumper. They really need to get close, though, so they can really help and try to dominate that outside lane and get it around that inside lane. But right now, that inside lane and that 21 leading that pack, looking very good.
Well, Rick, I kind of teased that we were going to do this more than once tonight. What do you say we go ahead and crank it up one more time?
Yes, sir.
much fun. I could watch a race like that all the time, but right now we had to break out because we're going 3 wide. 3 wide again. The 75 is the one leading the charge on the inside. Thomas Wagner in the sucker hole. And the 40 hanging on the outside. Oh, excuse me, that's the 50. The 50 car is Sammy Garcia. Now he's got the 3 working the inside. That's Beach. Beach working that sucker hole pretty good. Garcia stuck on the outside. He's going backwards, Rick. No help in the draft.
Yeah, got kind of hung out there to dry, Chris, and that is unfortunate there. I mean, that's Daytona. I mean, that's how you work things. I mean, if you get stuck out there and, you know, your teammate's not there, and maybe you don't have a teammate. I mean, Garcia, a new driver here for the Relentless, so we got to try to find something to work with down there. You can tell the guys who have been around, we got 20 laps left to go. I mean, these things are just kicking off really quick, and these guys doing a fabulous job out there tonight. Right now, Troy Leonard sitting there on the inside of the 55. Chris going 3 wide. Thomas Wagner on the outside, 55 in the sucker hole. The 45 holding down low.
Beach still holding on to the outside, but now it looks like that is going back to 2 lanes, at least in, oh boy. There we go. Now it's 2 lanes. Took a little while. It was slow to develop, but my goodness, yeah, it finally happened. And look at this. 1st through 7th, nose to tail. You don't typically see this here.
No, normally you don't. Usually you see a double line thing here, Chris, but iRacing really working on the package there, so you see this a little bit more, I've noticed, on watching a couple of races that have been broadcast out there on Daytona and Talladega. But look at Troy Leonard out there on the outside, Chris. He's like, hey, listen, if nobody wants to get that second pack moving, I'm going to go up there. You got the 06, he moves up there. He's like, okay. Chris is like, hey, listen, Leonard, I know you. We got to get you up on the broadcast booth to talk to them boys, so just help me out here a little bit. But man, with all those cars down there on the inside, Chris, it's going to be tough. That outside lane really needs a few more cars to move up and try to help them out.
Yeah, certainly a pack of 2 not going to be able to do it. The inside formed up very, very well with 18 laps to go. Tyler Footy in the 40, leading the charge. Austin Johnson behind him, followed by Pedra. Pedra running in 3rd spot with Jake McDonald in 4th. The 75 Scott Mertz running in 5th spot. And then you get to Joshua Kane in the 28, and that's where they start doubling back up. Here comes Fisher on the outside, the 06 with a head of steam, and he's got a little bit of help. 3-car pack might be able to get that outside moving again. Jeffrey Fisher leading the way. It would just take, they just need to stay just like that. If they can stay just like that, nose to tail, that top line will start catching the front of the field unless the bottom line does exactly what they're doing right now. They're forming up very, very tight. They're bump drafting. You see the shot the 50 gave to the 9. The 9 getting a little bit squirrely, trying to hold on to it. That's Ruben Zepeda. And Ruben is finally able to gather it back up, but not before going all the way back to 18th position.
Yeah, I mean, that's Daytona here, Chris. I mean, you gain them just as quick as you lose them, and that's exactly what happened. Just get out of that line just a little bit. But right now, you're absolutely right. That outside lane starting to really work. I mean, you got the 06 up there, 45, 43. The 1's coming into the fray right now. Gavin Jones, we haven't mentioned his name, I don't think, at all here tonight. He's in that number 1, Tame the Beast machine, doing everything he can. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to tame Daytona right now. You got to find people to work with, Chris. I mean, the 06, the 45, the 43, those guys have been racing together for quite a while. So they know each other. They know what's going to happen, how they race around each other. You just need a little bit more help there on that outside lane, though. That inside lane is just a huge, long freight train, Chris, and it's making way too much momentum for that outside lane to really do much.
Well, the inside lane, Rick, also has another advantage just ahead of them. It's a 3-car pack of slower cars. They're running that bottom side. They're really breaking up the air. And we go 3 wide once again. The 45 decides he's going to back it on down and try and fight back to the front. Not going to go 3 wide at this time in the race. 15 laps to go. And Troy Leonard lets off the throttle just a little bit.
Jeffrey Fisher on the 06, Chris, there, while you're going through that, he was on that outside lane. He actually cut down just at the right time in the 6th position on that bottle and got a lot of momentum. Now he's trying to bring Thomas Wagner, but Wagner says, nope, I'm going to go in as a car.
Big one. Big one. This is the big one. This is the one we were waiting for. And it is happening. It started at the very front of the field. Fisher was able to get through it somehow. Pedra not so lucky. And we're going to have to go back and take a look. That one developed very quickly. So we're going to keep an eye on the front of the field. A lot of cars involved with this one. Not even sure really where it started, Rick. So part of this is part of my my sick need to know exactly what happened. But we know Pedro was involved, and at the time he was running in 3rd spot. I had mentioned those slower cars, and I think, oh boy, it's just yeah. I'm gonna go back a little more. The 40 and the 18. The 18, Louis Sardo. I'm gonna go back and see what happened up towards the front a little bit more. So 18 was very slow. Oh, that's what happened. The 18 was very, very slow on track. He tried to move up to get out of the way. The 40 was going up to get around him, and he stacked up a lot of cars. And I do mean a lot of cars.
I mean, we talked about the big one at the beginning of the broadcast, Chris. I mean, it's inevitable here at Daytona Super Speedways. I mean, these cars are running so close together. I mean, one little mistake, you're not just taking out one or two, you're taking out a whole handful.
Oh, and then some. That was a big hit from a lot of people. We got pit stops that are looking to happen. Maybe 2 tires on this one. Try and get in and out as quickly as possible. Austin Johnson was the leader before this caution came out. We'll see how he comes off from pit road. A 2-tire stop for Johnson. He's back underway. And it looks like he's going to come out in 6th position. So tough to give up the lead to come back out in 6th spot. But you got 2 fresh tires on the right-hand side of that number 21. Rick, I'm going to throw this out here. We haven't talked about him a whole bunch tonight. The last time I mentioned his name, he was a lap down. Now, on the lead lap, the 09 James Miller. Miller being scored as your race leader.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but we started broadcasting Relentless here. This is season 3. So, season 1, I remember Miller, I believe, took the championship. Season 2, last season, took the championship. And now here he is, he's leading the season opener, and I think he's pretty much done that the last 2 seasons also. Miller's kind of like a couple of the other drivers out there. I mean, Jeffrey Fisher, he's another one of them. You know, they kind of just hang back, do what they have to do throughout the race, but when it comes down to it, in the closing laps, they're usually right up there mixing it with the leaders, if not taking it over.
Well, it's been a heck of a show and definitely a great way to get your season started right for the Relentless Racing Series here on Turn 3 Racing Network every Friday night. Be sure to check us out. We're going to go live at about 8:45 Eastern Standard Time every single Friday night. And these guys have a pretty long season scheduled out, Rick. And this is a really good way to start it off.
You're absolutely right, Chris. We're starting it now, and it looks like it's going to end sometime around February, so right through the winter months.
want to go ahead and thank everybody once again for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the Relentless Racing Series. Get it on for the very first time this season in Daytona. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your Labor Day weekend and joining us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Honestly, if you guys weren't out there, I don't know what we would be talking about. It certainly wouldn't be as much fun, so we really do appreciate you coming on out and chatting with us. It's been a really, really good time. James Miller, your race leader. He's got Matt Gruenberg, stage 1 winner, Matt Gruenberg, right behind him. Then Austin Derbyshire is in third spot. Derbyshire earlier on was kind of up front every time we looked there, and he has somehow made his way back there with a pretty clean car. Watch for Derbyshire to be very aggressive here on this restart. We're going to have 9 laps to go. Daytona putting on a really good show tonight, Rick. Man, this has been this has been a lot of fun. I came in here tonight kind of at the last minute because of some work issues, and we were able to get everything looking as good as it could tonight and sounding as good as it could, and these guys turn around and put on one hell of a show. It's been a lot of fun, and we can't thank them as race car drivers enough for putting on an exciting show. It certainly makes our job a lot easier. And again, you, the fans out there, chatting it up with us. Again, I can't stress it enough. Thank you for taking some time out on a Friday to come watch a little Relentless Racing Series Xfinity car action. Look forward to bringing you a lot of racing here on a Friday night. If Friday nights aren't just enough for you, make sure to tune in on Sunday night. Rick and I will be doing the Blazing Pedal Series, sponsored by TRJKarting.com. For those who might like watching the trucks, pace car is down, and we are getting set to go back to the green flag. James Miller is the race leader. He started on the outside, and he's kind of leaving the 54 behind. He sneaks down below, and he's going to pick up that 54. Not a bad restart from James Miller. The 09 has the 54 of Gruenberg and Austin Derbyshire. Top 4 cars, nose to tail. Fifth car of Johnson. Trying to go to the outside, trying to do it by himself. He's going backwards. The 43, Thomas Wagner, and the 28 of Joshua Kane closing the door. The 23 lets him in. That's Tony Edmondson. 75 right there, Scott Merckx. And here comes the 11, Derek Garrison. Driving his Turn 3 Racing Network Chevy Camaro. Garrison starting to move his way towards the front. He's doing it without a lot of help. In fact, he's doing it with no help, and that may be a problem because Garrison out there by himself, no drafting partner, needs to find some draft in order to keep position. Can't get into the line. The 45 closing the door. So Garrison stuck on the outside, has to depend on side draft. Finally, the 3 steps up. Will that be enough? No. And the 3 drops back in line. So Garrison continues to fall backwards. The 11 stuck in no man's land as everybody's going nose to tail with 8 laps to go. Garrison has fallen to 14th position. James Miller continuing to lead this field around this gigantic 2.5 mile track at 190 plus miles an hour. James Miller looking pretty good out there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, he's been quiet most of the race, Chris, and now there he is towards the end, just doing what he has to do now. He's got some really tough competition behind him. You got Matt Grunberg out there in the 54 just sitting in second. You got Austin Dobnashire in the 64, and here comes Thomas Wagner kind of looking on the outside. Kind of fakes out Dobnashire in the 64. Stuck out there all by himself right now. And here goes Matt Grunberg.
Grunberg steps out to help teammate Derbyshire. They're running just 2 cars on the outside lane against a bunch on the inside. Here comes the 3. That's Andrew Beach. He's running in 7th spot right now, trying to catch the back bumper of those 2 cars. If he can get to the back end of Derbyshire, it'll be pretty much evened up, and the top lane should be able to get up ahead of steam. Oh, the 43 gets into the 09, and oh my goodness, it's another big one. Thomas Wagner starts that one. The 43 heavy damage. We're gonna go back and take a peek, but that one was a big one. So we got the 43. He's pushing on the 09 of James Miller. And Wagner gets the 09 really sideways. The 09 able to continue on, but look at the carnage left behind. Nothing you can do but shake your head.
I mean, that's super speedway racing, Chris, right there.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, you got to go for the win at some point. Wagner was pushing on the 09. The 9 got squirrely. Miller. And Wagner started to back off just a little bit. And it started collecting a bunch of guys. And you can only check up so much so fast here. It's not like you can just hit the brakes and stop. You're going 190 plus miles an hour. And a lot of damaged vehicles out there. Some of them pulling in, maybe having that quick repair left in store. Among the list of the walking wounded, Andrew Beach, Jeffrey Fisher, and Johnson. And honestly, it's changing so fast, it's hard to keep up. Flanagan, Kane, Beach, Jeff Price. Jeffrey Cox was involved with that one. Thomas Wagner, of course. Scott Mertz. Adrian Pedra involved in a second one. Troy Leonard involved with that one as well. And it looks like that's about the whole list. That's a big list of cars.
That is a big list of cars, Chris. We got 4 left to go here. Troy Leonard, the smart water's not working for you, bro. Time to bring back the Coca-Cola cars.
I'm just saying. Decaf. Diet. Coke. It's fueling this race right now.
That's almost as bad as me saying I'm drinking a Bud Light right now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, there's Diet Coke flavored water, and then there's skunk pea.
No, come on. This is left over here from when my good friend Terry Foster was sponsored by Bud Light before he went to Kodiak. I found in the back of the fridge. It's the only thing cold that we got in the house right now.
I hear tell, Rick, that toilet water is cold. It's about the same thing. Might as well go grab a drink.
You're absolutely right.
Grunberg, your race leaders, winner of stage 1, takes his 54 over the start-finish line. 3 laps left. James Miller in second spot. Austin Derbyshire running in third. It's Jake McDonald, Gavin Jones running out the top 5, Tony Edmondson running in 6th spot, Sammy Garcia in 7th. Jeffrey Fisher comes out of pit road in 8th position. Derek Garrison comes out at 9th. And Ruben Zepeda rounding out the top 10. It's first race of the year, Rick. It's important to get that finish as just as good as you can because it sets the season up. And right now, Gruenberg having a good time out there. He's led some laps. He won the first stage of the night. 54 is doing a good job to get this season going on the right foot. James Miller, last season's champion, not too shabby himself after being shown a lap down for a good portion of the race. The 09 has led some laps and currently finds himself in 2nd spot. Derbyshire has been running in the top 5 a good portion of the night. He's definitely been very quick out there, the 64. Just hasn't quite been able to make it to the top yet. And I'm going through all of this because I believe we're going to go back to green with 1 lap to go.
That's going to be interesting, Chris, because that's not even going to give these cars a chance to really get up to top speed. So you're going to be fighting for every position. And like you said, this is the way. This is how you want to start your season. These guys that are sitting there in the top 5 right now, they're kind of happy right now. I mean, we got Gavin Jones, Jake McDonald, Austin Derbyshire, James Miller, Matt Gruenberg. Those 2, 1 and 2, they do this all season long, it seems. And it's all about consistency. It's all about getting those bonus points that you possibly can and get that season started on the right foot and then just carry the momentum through. It's a long season. Consistency matters and every point matters, so this is going to be interesting with a one lap to go.
Well, Gruenberg couldn't ask for a better starting partner, the 64, and him teammates. So we'll see if Derbyshire can help the 54 punch out a win, or maybe he's just going to go for himself. I hear on the last lap there are no friends. On the outside, it's James Miller and Jake McDonald. McDonald in 15 has been up front quite a few times so far in this race. It's all coming down to a 1-lap shootout, and like you said, Rick, these cars won't even be at top speed when they cross the start-finish line for the checkered flag. So really it's going to come down to who can help who the most, who's going to push on who the most, and how willing are you to maybe cause something to get to the front. Now, if you haven't done it yet, strap in, folks, because it's not over with 1 lap to go. When they cross the start-finish line to take the green, it's anybody's guess as to who's going to win this one. This is typically when these guys will really lean on each other, like you haven't seen that tonight.
And like you said, Chris, there's no teammates, there's no friends out there right now. Everybody's out there looking at the one thing, and that's going to be the win.
Green flag is out. When they cross the start-finish line, it's going to be a white flag in the air. Green and white flags waving from the flag stand. And Gruenberg has a really good start. Austin Derbyshire trying to push that inside line. Really has a steam right now. The 09 of James Miller trying to hold pace. Derbyshire trying to get to the back bumper of the 54. If he can do that, then this might be over. Derbyshire now gets to the back bumper of the 54. He is starting to push. He is pushing. You can see the air moving over both cars. That's going to make them both go faster. Oh, the 64 loses contact with the 54. That might be just enough to give the 09 a chance. Coming out of turn number 4, heading down the front stretch. Excuse me. No, we're not. Now we are. Holy cow. And I guess I was off by a lap because it's being shown to me as the final lap. So we still have one more to go. This one not settled yet. The 64 moves up to the top. He's blocking the 09. Here comes the 1 of Gavin Jones. Jones picks up the 54 of Gruenberg. Will it be enough? The 64 of Austin Derbyshire is your race leader right now. He's got James Miller last season's champion, holding on to second spot. The 15 and the 54 get together, the 23, and they spin out. We're going to finish this one under caution. And Austin Derbyshire,
Wow,
pulls one out of the hat. James Miller second, Jake McDonald gonna be third. What a finish. What an absolute finish here from Daytona. I told you it wasn't done yet.
no, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, that was an awesome shootout there for the win.
This 2.5 mile track is giving us so much good racing, some heartbreak moments. But tonight, and especially right now, Austin Derbyshire with a huge, huge smile on his face as he is your race winner. We're going to let him continue to burn down that car. We're going to step away for just a moment, get set for some post-race interviews. We'll be right back. And we are back here in Daytona, setting up for the post-race interviews. I want to thank everybody once again, drivers and fans alike, for coming out and watching the race tonight. Rick, I say we get these interviews going.
All right, first one is going to be the driver who came in third place. That's going to be Jake McDonald in his number 15 machine. Jake McDonald, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy on yours.
Oh, man, what a race, man. Congratulations coming on third tonight. How did that was just crazy.
Oh, man, that was... I definitely needed to check my underwear after that race. Yeah, that was crazy. A few of those wrecks there, I have no idea how I didn't get caught up in them. I had a lot of luck on my side tonight.
Wow, man.
That was...
Yeah, I mean, you did a good job. You had, I mean, it's already late for you, right? Oh, actually, it's early in the morning.
It's midday here down in sunny Melbourne.
It's sunny, at least it's sunny and nice. You know what I'm saying, man? Congratulations, though. Is there anybody on that number 15 you need to thank?
Absolutely. Yeah, because of this season, I went over to Eric, and yeah, just I want to say a big. The whole team, obviously a podium. I got the pole and then a podium on debut for me. All happy with that, but yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely be happy with that, but you're breaking in and out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you got the pole, you came out here, you got the podium. What a way to start a season, man. I mean, it's a long season, but hey, listen, if you can do this in the beginning, you carry that momentum through, I think everything's going to work out great for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks heaps for that.
Well, no problem, buddy. Hey, listen, congratulations. Hopefully you enjoy your day in sunny Melbourne and have a good night, man, or a good day.
Cheers for that. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh, it was great, man. It was good seeing you up there.
Thanks, guys.
That was the driver of the number 15 coming to us from down under, Jake McDonald, doing a fantastic job, finishing in third spot. In second place, it's the driver of the formerly known as the 25, now of the 09, James Miller. James, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, bud, it's it last season's champion, season 1 champion, and you're starting off your run this season in P2. That's not a bad place to start.
Yeah, no, that's looking real good for this season.
So last year you kind of did a little bit more on consistency than you did on race wins. So obviously continuing that trend here, a second place finish. At one point you were a lap down, and the next thing I know, you're leading the race. How did that how did that happen? I didn't even catch all that.
Yeah, well, had the issue there at the start. Just Matt and I were trying to get to the outside 3 wide because it just felt like everyone was taking their time. We kind of just want to make our way up through the field there, and just everyone seemed like they were trying to run that high line and pinch the 23 there, and had it checked up, and then I don't know, everyone just plowed into the back of us for some reason. Like they didn't see a wreck happening for a good straightaway there, but so went lap down there trying to tow it and get it fixed up, and kind of played it a little safe, not really, for using the quick repair, and then actually had to use the washroom there, I think on the I forgot which stage. Actually, I guess it was just before the stage or something like that. So then that's where I went another lap down, and then yeah, the quick stage caution there got me back in the lead lap, and then pit strategy there with the 45 and 64, or 54, that's it, that's his number. They come in early on that last run, and it paid off for the caution just before the field caught us and put us out front for the rest of the race, and yeah, we the 3 of us, well, almost got 1, 2, 3. It was 1, 2, 4, so it went well.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong, but if you were at the real Daytona and you had to use the washroom, as you say, would you have gotten out of your car?
Oh no, I would have went in the suit, but this fire suit currently doesn't have that feature, so maybe that's something I gotta invest in. No, would have went right in the suit. Probably like my first time out there, just all the nerves.
Beautiful. All right, bud. Well, hey, listen, congratulations on fighting your way back all the way up to second spot. James Miller, driver of the 09, congratulations once again.
Thank you guys. Just thanks to Jeffrey for the Avicraft 09 car. I know, unfortunately, he didn't have the day he wanted, but glad at least I could. And shout out to everyone watching at home, and Haley Fisher and the 64 and 54 for working with me there at the end.
Absolutely. All right, James, congratulations, bud. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. You too.
James Miller, driver of the 25, bringing it home in second, and that's going to leave us with just one person to talk to. He got out of his car, though, so we can't bring that up, but it's driver of the number 64, Austin Derbyshire. Austin, Chris, and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Rick. How are you two tonight?
Oh, we're doing pretty good, bud. Good racing all around. You were up front for a good portion of the race, and you snuck away for a little while, and then, boom, all of a sudden you're back up front. And I pegged you as a top 5 driver, but then this last restart, oh man, you had it figured out. Why don't you take us through that?
Yeah, it was just we AV and one sim. That would be James Miller, Jeffrey Fisher, Grunberg, and myself. We made a bit of an alliance for the Speedway race, so we just put that plan into action. Wanted to pit early before the group got around, so we could get ahead of them. And luckily for us, the caution came out before they could lap us. So we got to stay out, rest of the race, put ourselves in front, and we're just ready to rock and roll for the last couple of restarts there.
Awesome, man. It was a lot of fun to watch this one. Anybody on the 64 you want to thank besides those guys?
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw that besides those guys in there.
Yeah, well, definitely you guys for the broadcasting, and definitely, well, if no one knows, I work on the overlay with you guys, so it's nice to get a win when I see my own overlay, and yeah.
Awesome, man. All right, buddy. Well, listen, I'm going to let you get down there and enjoy the rest of the conversation with the guys you were working with tonight. Congratulations once again on the win for the number 64.
Thank you, Chris.
It's Austin Derbyshire coming home in first spot. We're going to run through the finishing order here real quick. Austin Derbyshire, race winner. James Miller in second. Jake McDonald coming home third. Matt Gruenberg in fourth. And Ruben Zepeda coming home in fifth place. Jeffrey Fisher managed to squeak out a sixth place finish. Sammy Garcia in seventh. Eric Lyda eighth. Timothy Madonna finishing in ninth. And Scott Mertz round out the top 10. Jeffrey Price in the 14 finishes in 11th spot. Jeffrey Cox in the 88 finishing in 12th. Gavin Jones in the 1 car finishing in 13th. Tony Edmondson finishing in 14th. And Austin Johnson rounding out the top 15. Derek Garrison in the Turn 3 Racing Network Chevy Camaro finishes in 16th position tonight. Adrian Pedra finishes 17th. Troy Leonard in the 45 finishes 18th position, Joshua Kane 19th, and Brian Flanagan in 20th. Andrew Beach, Miguel Zepeda, Tyler Forty, and Thomas Wagner, and Louis Sardo rounding out the top 25. Trenton Sneed and Zachary Taylor rounding out the field. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Rick, listen, we happened to be talking about this a little bit earlier. We knew Daytona was coming. Didn't know exactly what to expect. These guys put on a hell of a show.
They most certainly did, man. I mean, Daytona never disappoints for me, Chris. I love this track, and it's always been one of my favorites, real life and here in the sim. And these guys put on one heck of a show here on this Friday night.
They sure did. And with that, we're going to call it. And I want to thank everybody once again for coming out and getting the weekend started right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We were watching the Relentless Racing Series, their Xfinity car series, and man, it was awesome. Thank you very much once again for coming out, and enjoy the rest of the night.